I had a niece who was involved with meth, and her daughter came to stay with us, and I got to see firsthand what it was like. First of all, taking care of a child who had been around it her whole life, and who was part of that. She was 6, and then seeing what meth turns a beautiful young woman into.
And so what we decided to do is use the Aztec Local News as a podium of sorts and ask the question about meth. What is the problem? Is there a problem? And intuitively, we knew it because we had seen it.
I think without going into a lot of detail, we all know there's problems. And with certainly confronting business and industry and a multitude of other problems with this, and I think as we are able to address some of these, that hopefully that'll show that we were successful in being able to turn the corner on some of these things.
By all indications that we have a serious meth problem, and there are other drugs, but meth seems to be the drug of choice in this area.
I've been in practice for 29 years. I've been in San Juan County for 14. Meth addiction in the last 5 years and meth use in the last 5 years has skyrocketed, both in quantities of people using and in the quality of the narcotic on the street.
I've been working in the field for 17 years in this community, and my first 6 years in the field were strictly with juveniles, and I saw very little of it at that time, from 90 to 97, 96. I would say for over 10 years now, I've seen it on the rise, and it just gets worse every year.
Oh, I don't think I can put into words what I believe to meth to be as far as what a horrible drug it is and what it does to people. I've been doing this work for 25 years, and I've never run into any other drug that creates the kind of lasting problems that methamphetamine does. It destroys teeth, there are other physical, medical effects of it, but more than anything else, it destroys families. And the people that I've met that have been on meth for a long time have lost everything.
Well, the first time I ever used, I think, you know, I was young and I had done cocaine a few times. And I had this guy coming around trying to push meth on me. And I said, hell no, I'm not going to do no meth. I'd never done meth. I didn't know anything about meth. But I had done cocaine, and I said, if it doesn't get me numb, I'm not going to do it. You know, and then finally one time he talked me into doing it. And I did it, and I thought, what did I ever see in cocaine? You know, because cocaine, you just want more and more and more, and you go to sleep. Meth, you do a little bit, and you're up forever. So the first time I ever did it, I was hooked, you know, and I thought, I'm never going to do cocaine again, you know. And I don't know, I guess I fell in love. And it caused all kinds of stuff for me. I mean, you know, everything I ever had I lost 2 or 3 times because I did meth.
I was 19 years old, and I was at a friend's house, and I had just gone through a divorce at 19, and I had a daughter, and I was stressed out, and I just got curious, you know. I got real curious, and it was offered, and I did my first line with one of my friends that I'd known since like 3rd grade. Within 2 hours, I wanted another one. I have 6 children. I'm 31 years old, I have 6 children. I've been married and divorced 3 times. You know, there's so many different ways that it's affected my life.
First time I was back in 1996. Oh, it was just a friend at work that, you know, he'd been using it for quite a while, and you know, I never really tried it. I've heard about it, but I never tried it, and that's when I first tried it, and ended up really liking it. it took me for a ride. But the best feeling you've ever had in your life, and multiply it, you know, by 100 or 1,000 times, and that's basically how you feel, you know, on top of everything. You know, you feel real good. Everything's real crisp and clear. And, you know, at first. Well, when I first did it, you know, my wife was pregnant with the twin boys, and you know, I figured, you know, I got to make a lot of money because this is going to be expensive, and so I ended up, you know, making quite a bit of money, but I ended up spending it on that meth. You know, I figured I could work a little longer and make, you know, a little bit of overtime, and we just started doing it all the time and working all the time, and didn't end up being there with her, you know, through the pregnancy and stuff, and that wasn't a good thing. You know, she needed someone there, and she ended up having to go stay with her mom and dad because I was always working, and she had to have bed rest, and I wasn't around. And you know, I took off the day that my boys were born. You know, I took off work, and you know, I was high still, you know, from a couple of days before, and you know, Fran knew it, and you know, she's like, we can't be doing this, you know, it's our family, you know. And so I tried giving it up, and by then, you know, it'd been almost a year that I'd been on it, and you know, it was every day, whether I needed it or not, you know, it was every day I'd use it. And
remember the boxing match where Evander Holyfield got his ear bit? That was the night. That was the night, and it was just a friend was like, you know, do this, I guess, you know, offered it, and I was like, okay, great, you know, it's no big deal. And seriously, from that night on, it's just been, that was where it started, and it started immediately, and it started rapidly, and there was a lot right away. You know, it just was an avalanche of meth right away.